formally dropped its controversial COVID-19 vaccine mandate for troops. However, what happens now to restore service members before they would discharged or reprimanded for not getting the vax? Florida Representative Michael Waltz telling Newsmax just yesterday that congressional Republicans will work to restore the status, pay, and benefits of soldiers who did not follow the order to get the vax.
All right, military attorney Davis Younts joins us now to discuss this issue. Great to have you with us.
Hey, thank you. Good afternoon.
So, David, legally, do these service members who didn't get the shot and were disciplined for their vaccine status, can they get back what is rightfully theirs? A lot of people would say they deserve this back pay. What's the status there?
Well, as it stands now, the documentation, the memo from the Secretary of Defense doesn't provide for any of that. So we're going to have to see if the Pentagon is going to take any steps on their own. Without congressional involvement, military members are going to be left to go through federal litigation processes or be stuck going to the Board of Corrections for Military Records, which is a process that can take more than 2 years.
You know, and it's also expensive if you have to hire an attorney to fight. I mean, this isn't really feasible for a lot of folks. You know, you work with a lot of, veterans and, on their legal cases here. We wonder, will this impact recruitment even further? We see woke policies leading to already low numbers. The way these people and these veterans are being treated after years of service to our country, do you think, Davis, it will make people think twice about joining in the future as well?
Oh, it's a huge fear that I have as a military veteran myself, as someone who just retired. I retired early because of the mandate, and I was impacted by it. But it's a huge fear. There are families and clients that I talk to that are 2 and 3 generations into military service that do not want their children to serve because there's a lack of trust. So my hope, my prayer is that steps are taken within the Pentagon, within the DoD to restore that trust, to focus on readiness instead of woke policies and politics. Let's get back to training our leaders and warfighters to do their job, not making the military a social experiment.
Davis, some people have speculated that one of the reasons why this was so important was to get some of the older members of the military who maybe had seen what had happened with the anthrax vaccine with the military previously, to get them out of the way so that they go ahead and force more of these vaccines on the military. What do you think about those types of thoughts?
Well, there has been a question and there's been a concern that this was in some respects a purge, that the policy we're seeing was an attempt to purge out leaders, people that were willing to make a stand on legal basis, and even Christians who are willing to take a stand against this mandate because of their religious faith. So absolutely, among my clients, concerns I had is was this some type of a purge to push these folks out and sort of change military culture? I certainly hope not, and I hope that steps can be done to restore trust so we can get good men and women, true leaders who are willing to stand by their oath to support and defend the Constitution back into the military and serving. That's what our country needs. That's what it will take for a strong national defense.
And we know obviously there's a policy that the military has to put out there, a brave face they have to keep up as this plays out. But from your personal experience, Davis, when you're trying to get answers, when you're trying to work through some of these cases, is there any acknowledgement from the other side that maybe mistakes have been made, maybe there's wrongs that need to be righted here?
None.
None.
Absolutely not.
So disappointing.
No. What we see is continuing animosity and a continuing just a hostility towards anyone that took this stand. That's what I'm seeing. That's what my clients are seeing.
It's really horrible. I know it was viral when Biden thanked the U.S. Coast Guard technician, Zach Loesch, during Hurricane Ian, and he was going to be fired over the vaccine policy. So, I mean, that right there was a stunning example of this administration, almost using the military when they want it for a certain narrative, but then not doing right by them, Davis.
Absolutely right. Several of my clients were responding to Hurricane Ian as well. They are Coast Guard rescue swimmers. They were in that exact same situation, doing those things while pending discharge at any moment. And again, it's important to understand, this wasn't the Pentagon, this wasn't the White House backing down and rescinding this mandate. This took congressional action. And unfortunately, I'm afraid we need more because, again, the Board of Corrections process takes a long time. It's difficult. I do those cases, but you're right. It's expensive and it doesn't guarantee relief. So I really hope that Congress keeps up the pressure to protect our military members and restore their rights. Absolutely.
We'll be following this case closely. Davis, thank you so much for your time today, your insight. Military attorney Davis Younts, we appreciate everything that you're doing for these veterans out there fighting the fight.
Thanks, Davis.
Thank you.